Runway 13 remaining. 5,000 feet.
Spring Decimal Airport TTAF, Krypton 600. Good afternoon, F0.
Approaching runway 13.
Spring Decimal traffic, Beechcraft Tree, Papa Juliet, taxiing to runway 13, Spring Decimal. Colonel Hill traffic, Bahamas 6452, taxiing to the ramp, Colonel Hill.
Spring Decimal Airport TTAF, Krypton 600. Good afternoon. With you 3000. Spring Decimal Airport TTAF, Krypton 600. Good afternoon. Maintaining 3000.
We're currently near Spring Point Airport, which is basically the gateway to Spring Point, a place so laid back that even the clouds look like they're on holiday. The airport itself was built to help people escape to the kind of beaches you see in adverts for sun cream, but with fewer people and more goats. In 1997, my friend Toby tried to impress a customs officer here by juggling coconuts. He dropped one on his own foot and ended up being the first person to get a medical evacuation for a coconut-related injury.
Miami Center, Cobra 761, flight level 340.
Cobra 761, Miami Center, roger. Krypton 600, Miami Center. Good afternoon, Colonel Hill, QNH 1017.
QNH 1017, Krypton 600.
Miami Center, Frontier Flight 4725, flight level 360.
Frontier Flight 4725, Miami Center, roger.
We're currently near Pittstown, which is basically the sort of place you end up if you spin a globe, close your eyes, and jab your finger at the bit with the least Wi-Fi. Pittstown Airport is the main attraction, unless you count sand as an attraction, in which case it's a theme park. The airport was built so people could leave as quickly as they arrived, but the views are so nice, most people forget why they came in the first place. My friend Toby once tried to sunbathe on the runway, thinking it was a private beach.
Krypton 600, I need to amend your flight. Can you tell me your destination? Bahamas Niner 70, cleared direct final. Cleared for the ILS runway Niner approach. Descend and maintain altitude 3,000 feet until established.
Down to 3,000, cleared for the ILS Niner approach, Bahamas Niner 70.
Bahamas 4734, direct final. Cleared for the ILS runway Niner approach. Descend and maintain altitude 3,000 feet until established.
Down to 3,000, cleared for the ILS Niner approach, Bahamas 4734.
Krypton 600, understood. Destination updated to main.
We're currently near Hard Bargain Airport, which is possibly the only airport named after a negotiation tactic. It was built so people could fly in and immediately feel like they've lost a game of Monopoly. The runway is so basic, even birds look at it and think, is that it? In 2004, my friend Toby tried to sell homemade sandwiches to arriving passengers, but forgot to put any filling in them. He ended up being chased off the premises by a very angry customs beagle.
Miami Center, Delta 832, flight level 350.
Delta 832, Miami Center, Roger. Bahamas 7900, fly direct final, cleared for the ILS runway 9er approach, descend and maintain 3,000 feet until established.
Down to 3,000 cleared for the ILS 9er approach, Bahamas 7900.
Radar services terminated. Bahamas 4734, change to advisory frequency approved. Swap VFR.
Advisory frequency, Bahamas 4734.
Miami Center, American 1378, flight level 360.
American 1378, Miami Center, Roger. Radar services terminated. Bahamas 7836, change to advisory frequency approved. Swap VFR.
Advisory frequency approved, squawking VFR, Bahamas 7836.
Miami Center, American 2852, flight level 320.
American 2852, Miami Center, Roger.
Miami Center, convoy 3448, flight level 320.
Envoy 3448, Miami Center, Roger.
We're currently closest to Hard Bargain Airport, which sounds less like an airport and more like a dodgy market stall where you end up with a suitcase full of disappointment. It was built so people could arrive, look around, and immediately wonder if they've made a terrible mistake. In 2004, my friend Toby tried to sell homemade sandwiches to arriving passengers here, but forgot to put any filling in them.
Radar service is terminated. Bahamas 7900. Change to advisory frequency approved. Squawk VFR. Krypton 600. Traffic at your 12 o'clock 5 miles. Same altitude Diamond Star.
Krypton 600.
Advisory frequency approved, squawking VFR Bahamas 7900.
Krypton 600. Contact Nassau approach on 121.0.
Contacting Nassau approach on 121.0. Krypton 600.
Krypton 600, Nassau approach, good evening, Dead Man's K, altimeter 3003.
Altimeter 3003. Krypton 600.
WestJet 47903, contact Miami Center on 124.525.
124.525 for WestJet 47903.
Miami Center, Diamond 5 Delta Golf 2000.
Diamond 5 Delta Golf, Miami Center, roger.
Miami Center, Queen Air 2 Sierra X-Ray 1000.
Queen Air 2 Sierra X-Ray, Miami Center, roger.
We're currently closest to Dead Man's Cay, which is a place that sounds like it was named by someone who ran out of cheerful words. The airport here, Dead Man's Cay Airport, was built so people could fly in and immediately wonder if they're in the right place, because nothing says holiday like a name that reminds you of your own mortality.
Miami Center, November 2441, 6000.
November 24415, Miami Center, roger. American 1835, contact Miami Center on 124.525.
124.525 for American 1835.
Envoy 1069, contact Exuma on 118.0.
Switching to Exuma on 118.0, Envoy 1069.
We're currently closest to Hog Cay Airport, which is the sort of place you end up if you spin a globe and your finger lands somewhere that's mostly water. The airport was built so people could arrive and immediately wonder if they've made a terrible mistake, because there's not much here except sand, wind, and the occasional confused goat. In 2012, my friend Toby tried to set up a pop-up yoga class on the runway, but he only attracted a flock of seagulls and pulled a muscle in his back.
124.52. 5, United 7791. See ya.
American 2580, contact Miami Center on 127.225.
127.225. See ya, American 2580.
Clear 2650, contact Savannah Center on 133.35.
33.35. See ya, clear 2650.
Approaching runway 30. Caution! Caution!
Baron 0 Tango Golf, contact Savannah Center on 133.35.
133.35 for Baron 0 Tango Golf. Good day.
We're currently closest to Mosstown, which is basically the sort of place you end up if you fall asleep on a bus and wake up at the last stop. Mosstown is famous for being near Exuma International Airport, which is where people go when they've run out of other airports. The airport was built so people could say they've been somewhere with international in the name, even if the only thing international about it is the occasional confused seagull. We're currently closest to Exuma International Airport, which is the sort of place you'd expect to see in a Bond film, except instead of spies, it's mostly just confused tourists and the occasional goat. The airport was built so people could say they've been somewhere with international in the name, even if the only thing international about it is the odd seagull that's lost its way.
Envoy 5113, direct final cleared for the ILS runway 12 approach. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet until established.
Out of current altitude for 3,000 cleared for the ILS 12 approach, Envoy 5113.
Envoy 5113, contact Exuma on 118.0.
118.0 for Envoy 5113.
Super traffic, Firefly 235. We are 10 miles southeast of the field. We're going to be making a full stop landing runway 12. Super traffic.
We're currently closest to Staniel K Airport, which is the sort of place where you land and immediately wonder if you've accidentally stumbled onto the set of a low-budget pirate film. The airport was built so people could arrive and realize there's nothing to do except look at the water and contemplate their life choices.
Hammond 9058, fly direct final, cleared for the ILS runway 27 approach, descend and maintain altitude 3,000 feet until established.
Descending to 3,000, cleared for the ILS 27 approach, Bahamas 9058.
The Hammond 9058, contact Rock Sound Radio on 128.0.
128.0, see ya, Bahamas 9058.
Hammond 4636, direct final, cleared for the ILS runway 27 approach, descend and maintain altitude 3,000 feet until established.
Down to 3,000, cleared for the ILS 27 approach, Bahamas 4636.
Bahamas 4636, contact Rock Sound Radio on 128.0. Krypton 600, traffic at your 12 o'clock 5 miles at 3500 Caravan.
Krypton 600.
128.0, Bahamas 4636.
Bahamas 3450, fly direct final, cleared for the ILS runway 27 approach, descend and maintain altitude 3,000 feet until established.
Out of current altitude for 3,000, cleared for the ILS 27 approach, Bahamas 3450.
Boy 8847, direct final, cleared for the ILS runway 12 approach, descend and maintain 3,000 feet until established.
Descent to the 3,000, cleared for the ILS 12 approach, Envoy 8847.
Hammond 3450, contact Rocksound Radio
We're
on
currently
128.0.
closest to Norman's Cay Airport. This place is famous for being used by drug smugglers in the 1970s and 80s, which is probably the most exciting thing that's ever happened here. The runway was built so people could land in the middle of nowhere and immediately wonder if they've made a terrible mistake. My friend Toby once tried to impress a local by pretending to be a pilot, but he accidentally taxied a golf cart into the sea.
128.0 Bahamas 3450, see ya.
Bahamas 8354, cleared direct final, cleared for
We're
the ILS
currently
runway
closest to
27
the
approach,
island of
descend and
Highbourne
maintain
Cay,
altitude 3,000
which is
feet
basically a
until
fancy
established.
sandbar with delusions of grandeur. It's mostly famous for being shaped a bit like a comma, which is handy if you're writing a sentence about disappointment. The only thing more exclusive than the marina here is the price of bottled water. In 2015, my friend Toby tried to sneak onto a yacht by pretending to be a decorative anchor.
Out of current altitude for 3,000 cleared for the ILS 27 approach, Bahamas 8354.
Western 2301, contact Nassau Tower on 119.5.
119.5 for Western 2301.
JetBlue 477, contact Nassau Tower on 119.5.
Over to Nassau Tower on 119.5, JetBlue 477.
Krypton 600, contact Linden Pindling Tower on 119.5.
Contacting Linden Pindling Tower on 119.5. Krypton 600. Linden Pindling Tower, Krypton 600. Good evening at 3000.
Krypton 600, Nassau Tower, roger. Runway 14 in use. Advise when ready for pattern entry or approach. Bahamas 4183, runway 14, winds 180 at 10, cleared to land.
Cleared to land 14, Bahamas 4183.
Krypton 600, turn right heading 320. Vectors for the ILS runway 14 approach.
Right heading 320, vectors for the ILS runway 14 approach. Krypton 600.
We're currently closest to Nassau, which is basically the Bahamas' answer to, what if we put all the cruise ships in one place and see what happens? Nassau is famous for its pastel-colored buildings, which look like someone let a toddler loose with a paint set. The city was founded in 1670 by the British, probably because they ran out of places to put their sunburn.
Speedbird 8787 Nassau Tower, roger. Krypton 600, enter left downwind for runway 14.
Entering left downwind for runway 14. Krypton 600.
Western 2301, winds 180 at 10, runway 14, clear to land. Welcome to Nassau.
Clear to land 14, Western 2301.
JetBlue 477, winds 180 at 10, runway 10, clear to land. Welcome to Nassau.
Cleared to land 10, JetBlue 477. Nassau Tower, Delta 1366, established on the ILS runway 10.
Delta 1366, Nassau Tower, roger. Bahamas 2798, contact departure.
Okay, switching to departure, Bahamas 27908.
Citation 5 Tango Victor, hold short of runway 32.
Holding short of runway 32, citation 5 Tango Victor.
Citation 5 Tango Victor, cross runway 32.
Cross 32, citation 5 Tango Victor.
Delta 1366, wind 180 at 10, cleared to land, runway 10.
10, cleared to land, Delta 1366.
Nassau Tower, Bahamas 2347, established on the ILS runway 14.
Bahamas 2347, Nassau Tower, roger. Bahamas 2347, runway 14, winds 180 at 10, cleared to land.
14 cleared to land, Bahamas 2347.
After the departing Air Canada A320, runway 14, winds 180 at 10, cleared to land. Caution wake turbulence.
Runway 14, cleared to land after the departing Air Canada A320, winds 180 at 10. Caution wake turbulence. Krypton 600.
Sync rate. Approaching
Sync rate.
runway 14.
Sync
rate. Sync rate. Traffic. Traffic. Too low. Terrain.
Citation 5 Tango Victor holding short of 10, ready to go.
Citation 5 Tango Victor, winds 180 at 10, runway 10, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff 10, Citation 5 Tango Victor.
Krypton 600, contact ground on 121.7.
Switching to ground on 121.7. Krypton 600.
Air Canada 5449, contact departure. Good day.
Over to departure, Air Canada.
Krypton 600, Nassau ground, taxi to apron 2 gate C41 via hotel, hotel 2. Good day.
Taxi to apron 2 gate Charlie 41 via hotel, hotel 2. Krypton 600.
Charlie Sierra X-Ray Juliet, Romeo Cross, runway 32.
Crossing 32 Charlie Sierra X-Ray Juliet Romeo.
ground, Bahamas 2347, taxi to the gate.
Bahamas 2347, taxi to parking via Bravo Hotel, Hotel 2.
Bravo, Hotel, Hotel 2, Bahamas 2347.
Bahamas 90604 ready for push.
Bahamas 90604, push and start at your discretion.
Push back and start approved, Bahamas 90604.
Charlie Sierra X-Ray Juliet Romeo contact tower on 119.5.
Tower on 119.5, Charlie Sierra X-Ray Juliet Romeo.
American 4478 contact tower on 119.5.
Going to tower, American 4478, thanks.
Bahamas 6953 ready for push and start.
Bahamas 6953, push and start at your discretion.
Cleared, push and start. Bahamas 6953,